when you look at these players in today's era, being LeBron, there's really no comparison when you talk about the level of competitiveness. Michael bunched up all of his competitiveness and sort of exposed it out to the world within 12 to 14 years.
Scottie Pippen just went off on LeBron James and Kevin Durant for what he's calling the ultimate disrespect to Larry Bird's legacy. And when you hear what sparked this beef, you're going to understand why one of the greatest defenders in NBA history is ready to throw hands over a legend's name. This isn't just another hot take. This is personal. This is about legacy, respect, and everything wrong with how today's superstars view the past. What LeBron and KD said behind closed doors just leaked, and the basketball world is in absolute chaos. Scottie didn't hold back, and neither will we. Let's get into it.
It's a tough one to follow. I mean, that's Danny Ainge's opinion, right. And we all have our opinion. But my problem is more so with LeBron. If you are the greatest player, if people are saying you are the greatest player, or if people are saying Michael Jordan is the greatest player, why do you need to say it?
Right.
Michael Jordan has never, ever said he's the greatest player to ever.
So here's how this whole thing went down. It's mid-January 2025, and LeBron James and Kevin Durant are both at this exclusive private basketball event in Los Angeles. We're talking invite-only, billionaires, celebrities, the whole 9 yards. It's supposed to be low-key, just networking and vibes. But someone in that room had their phone recording, and what came out of that conversation is about to shake the entire NBA community to its core. The audio leaks on Twitter around 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night. You know how these things go. One person posts it, then it's everywhere within an hour. And in this clip, you can clearly hear LeBron and KD having what they thought was a private conversation about the greatest players of all time. Normal stuff, right? Players debate this all the time. But then it gets spicy. LeBron's voice comes through saying something like, I mean, look, Larry Bird was great for his time, but let's be real. He wouldn't be a top 20 player in today's game. The athleticism alone would cook him. And KD, laughing, adds, bro, I'm saying, people act like Bird was this god, but he'd be a slower Gordon Hayward at best. Good player, sure, but overrated as hell when you actually break it down. Now, hold up. Let that sink in for a second. Two of the biggest names in basketball right now casually dismissing Larry Bird, a 3-time NBA champion, 3-time MVP, one of the greatest shooters and trash talkers to ever lace up, as if he's just some decent role player. The disrespect is wild. And of course, the internet does what it does best. Within hours, the clip has millions of views. The comments are split down the middle. Younger fans are like, they're not wrong though, Bird played against plumbers and mechanics. But the older generation, they're furious. Hashtags like Respect Bird and Legacy Matters start trending. This isn't just a debate anymore, it's a full-blown generational war. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because Scottie Pippen, who spent his entire career going to war against Larry Bird and the Celtics, is watching all of this unfold, and Scottie is not happy.
Being LeBron, there's really no comparison when you talk about the level of competitiveness. Michael bunched up all of his competitiveness and sort of exposed it out to the world within 12 to 14 years. We saw his whole resume, his competitiveness, his...
Now, you have to understand something about Scottie Pippen. This man played in the trenches of 90s basketball. He defended Bird, Magic, everyone. He knows what it took to compete at that level, and he's always been vocal about respecting the legends who paved the way. So when he sees LeBron and KD casually dismissing one of the greatest to ever do it, something snaps. January 18th, 2025, Scottie posts a cryptic message on Instagram. No caption, just a picture of Larry Bird holding the MVP trophy with the eyes emoji. That's it, but everyone knows what he's saying. The comments go crazy. People are tagging LeBron and KD like, y'all got Pip mad now. But Scottie's not done. 2 days later, he goes on this underground basketball podcast that's been blowing up lately. One of those raw, unfiltered shows where players can really speak their minds. And oh man, does Scottie speak his mind. The host asks him about the leaked audio, and Scottie doesn't even hesitate. He leans into the mic and says, "Let me tell you something about Larry Bird. That man would destroy anyone in today's league. And I mean anyone. You think these guys today are tough? Bird played with a broken back, broken fingers, and still dropped 30 on your head while telling you exactly where he was going to shoot from. LeBron and KD talking about Bird like he's some scrub, that's straight up ignorance." But Scottie doesn't stop there. He goes deep. He starts breaking down specific games, specific moments where Bird humiliated defenders. He talks about Bird's basketball IQ, his clutch gene, his leadership. And then, and this is where it gets personal, Scottie brings up LeBron's GOAT claim. LeBron wants to be called the greatest ever, but he doesn't even respect the people who built this game. How are you going to call yourself the GOAT when you're out here disrespecting Larry Bird? That's not how greatness works. You honor those who came before you, not tear them down to make yourself look better. Boom. Scottie just questioned LeBron's entire legacy in one breath. The clip goes viral. We're talking 10 million views in 24 hours. The basketball world is in shambles. Fans are divided, players are starting to choose sides, and LeBron and KD, radio silence.
About Bird that are told than any other player.
Because he was the best trash talker ever. So Leon Wood was one of my teammates, and we're sitting in the locker room getting ready for the three-point shooting contest. And I was kind of just talking to Leon, trying to calm him down, and get all these three-point shooters in there. Bird comes in and says, "Which one of you is going to come in second place?"
Scottie Pippen is not the type to just talk without backing it up. So over the next few days, he goes on a full media tour, and he's bringing receipts. I'm talking stats, film breakdowns, everything. On Twitter, he posts a thread that breaks the internet. He starts with Larry Bird's accolades: 3 consecutive MVP awards from 1984 to 1986, 3 NBA championships, 12 All-Star appearances, 2 Finals MVPs. He throws out Bird's stats: 24.3 points, 10 rebounds, 6.3 assists per game for his career. And then he adds context. Bird did this in an era where hand-checking was legal, where you could actually play defense, where every drive to the basket meant getting hammered by guys like Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn. You think Bird wouldn't thrive in today's soft league where you can't even breathe on a shooter? He'd average 35 easy. Scottie brings up specific playoff performances: the 1987 Eastern Conference Finals, where Bird averaged 27-10-7 against the Pistons' brutal defense; the 1986 Finals, where he dominated; the countless clutch shots, the trash talk, the mental warfare. He paints a picture of a player who didn't just have skill, he had that killer instinct, that dog in him that separated the greats from the legends. And then Scottie gets emotional. In another interview, he talks about what Larry Bird represented. Bird played the game with respect. He respected his opponents. He respected the history. He respected the craft. These young guys today, they think it all started with them. They don't understand that they're standing on the shoulders of giants. And when you disrespect those giants, you disrespect the entire foundation of this game. The basketball community is eating this up. Older players start chiming in. Magic Johnson posts a tribute to Bird on Instagram with the caption, "Real ones know." Charles Barkley goes on TV and says, "Scottie's right. Larry Bird would cook everybody today, and it's not even close." Even some current players who grew up watching Bird defend him. But LeBron and KD still haven't said a word. The silence is deafening. And Scottie, he's just getting started. This debate is now everywhere. ESPN is covering it, sports talk shows are dedicating entire segments to it, social media is a war zone, and the split is generational, almost perfectly down the middle. On one side, you've got the older generation, fans who watched Bird play, former players, analysts who covered that era. They're backing Scottie 100%. They're posting highlight reels of Bird's greatest moments. They're sharing stories about his competitiveness, his work ethic, his clutch performances. The narrative is clear. Larry Bird is untouchable, and LeBron and KD crossed a line. On the other side, you've got the younger generation defending LeBron and KD. They're arguing that basketball is evolved, that today's athletes are bigger, faster, stronger. They're saying that it's not disrespect to acknowledge that the game has changed. Some are even doubling down, saying Bird's success was partly due to playing against weaker competition. The hashtags are flying. Hashtag Respect Bird is battling hashtag New Era Basketball. Twitter polls are being conducted. Who would win in their prime, Larry Bird or LeBron James? The results are split 50-50. The debate has transcended basketball. It's become a cultural moment about how we value history versus progress. And then other legends start picking sides publicly. One former MVP tweets, "Scottie speaking facts. These kids don't know what real basketball looked like." Another Hall of Famer posts, "Evolution is real. Today's game is different, and that's okay." The division is real, and it's getting messy. Scottie sees all of this, and instead of backing down, he doubles down. He does another interview where he says, "I knew this would be controversial, but somebody had to say it. We can't let the history of this game be rewritten by people who never lived it. Larry Bird deserves better. The 80s and 90s deserve better. And if LeBron and KD can't understand that, then they're not the leaders I thought they were." The pressure is mounting. Fans are demanding that LeBron and KD respond. The longer they stay silent, the worse it looks. And finally, after almost a week of chaos, they break their silence. It's late January 2025. LeBron has a game, and after the final buzzer, reporters swarm him. You know they're going to ask about Scottie and Larry Bird. It's all anyone wants to talk about. And LeBron, being LeBron, handles it the way he always does. Carefully, diplomatically, but with just enough edge to let you know he's not backing down. "Look," LeBron says, adjusting his headband, "I have nothing but respect for Larry Bird. He's a Hall of Famer, a champion, an icon. But what me and KD were talking about was a private conversation that got taken out of context. We were having a theoretical debate about different eras, and people ran with it. I never said Bird was trash. I said the game has evolved. That's just a fact." He pauses, then adds, "Scottie's entitled to his opinion, but he wasn't in that room. He doesn't know the full context of what was said. I respect his legacy, but I'm not apologizing for having a conversation about basketball." Boom. LeBron just said he's not apologizing. The internet explodes again. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant takes to Twitter, because of course he does. KD goes on a full spree, posting like 15 tweets in a row. "Y'all love making something out of nothing," he starts. "Nobody disrespected Bird. We were talking about hypotheticals. If Bird played today, would he be the same? That's a valid question. Y'all acting like we spit on his grave or something." He continues, "Bird was great for his era. That's not disrespect. That's acknowledging that basketball changes, rules change, athletes change. Everything evolves. You can't just drop someone from 1985 into 2025 and expect the same results. That's common sense." And then KD throws a shot back at Scottie. Funny how Scottie wants to talk about respecting legends, but he's out here questioning LeBron's GOAT status. Where's the respect in that? Selective outrage at its finest. The responses are immediate and brutal. LeBron and KD's fans rally behind them, saying they're right and that everyone's being too sensitive. But Scottie supporters, they're not having it. Within hours, Scottie fires back on social media. Clarification isn't respect. You said what you said, and if you truly respected Bird, you wouldn't have said it in the first place, private or not. Leadership means honoring those who came before you, not making excuses after you get caught. He adds another post. And KD, don't twist my words. I never disrespected LeBron. I said you can't claim to be the greatest while tearing down the greats who built your platform. Big difference. The back and forth is relentless. Fans are choosing sides. Players are subtweeting. The media is having a field day. This isn't dying down, it's escalating, and nobody seems willing to be the bigger person and end it.
So where does this leave us? Well, as of right now, this beef is unresolved. LeBron and KD made their statements, but they didn't apologize. Scottie made his point, but he's not letting it go. The basketball community is more divided than ever, and honestly, this debate has opened up a bigger conversation about how we evaluate greatness across different eras. Here's the thing. Scottie's not wrong about one major point. Respect matters. The NBA exists because legends like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and yes, Scottie Pippen himself built it into what it is today. They sacrificed their bodies, played through injuries, and competed at the highest level under different rules and conditions. To casually dismiss that legacy, even in a private conversation, feels wrong to a lot of people. But LeBron and KD aren't entirely wrong either. Basketball has evolved. The game today is faster, more athletic, and more skill-based than ever before. It's not disrespectful to acknowledge that. The real issue is how they said it, the tone, the dismissiveness, the lack of nuance. If they had framed it differently, maybe this whole thing never happens. What's clear is that this generational divide isn't going away. Younger fans grew up watching LeBron and KD dominate. They see them as the pinnacle of basketball. Older fans grew up watching Bird, Magic, and Jordan. They see them as the pinnacle. And both sides think their era is superior. But here's what really matters. Larry Bird's legacy doesn't need defending. The man has 3 rings, 3 MVPs, and a Hall of Fame career. Nothing LeBron or KD says in a private conversation changes that. What Scottie's really fighting for isn't just Bird. It's the principle. It's the idea that greatness should be respected, not diminished. It's the belief that you don't have to tear down the past to celebrate the present. As for LeBron and KD, this moment might stick with them, not because they were wrong, but because they showed a lack of awareness. In a league built on legacy and respect, dismissing a legend, even hypothetically, comes with consequences. Scottie made sure of that. And Scottie, he's done what he set out to do. He defended a legend, started a conversation, and reminded everyone that the history of this game matters. Whether you agree with him or not, you can't deny his passion. That's what makes this whole situation so compelling. It's real, it's raw, and it's not over. This drama between Scottie Pippen, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant over Larry Bird's legacy has exposed something deeper in basketball culture. We're at a crossroads between honoring the past and celebrating the present. Both can coexist, but it requires respect, context, and humility, something that got lost in that leaked conversation. So what do you think? Was Scottie right to call out LeBron and KD, or did he overreact to a private conversation? Could Larry Bird really dominate in today's NBA, or is Scottie living in the past? And most importantly, where do we draw the line between honest debate and disrespect? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This is the kind of debate that defines basketball fandom, and we want to hear your take. Are you Team Scottie, Team LeBron, or somewhere in between? And if you made it this far, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because basketball drama never stops, and neither do we. We're breaking down every controversy, every beef, and every moment that has the NBA world talking. Don't miss out. See you in the next one.